This conference will now be recorded.
Manual bank reconciliation configuration steps or process. Let's see if we have to configure manual bank reconciliation statement in SAP, what exactly we are going to do. Now, first point that you'll have to understand is when it comes to your bank reconciliation statement configuration, especially your MBRS. Okay, there are no changes from ECC to HANA. Clear up? If you have configured manual bank reconciliation statement in ECC version and you can configure the same steps as it is in S4HANA, there are no changes. It is exactly the same, except certain changes on the house bank configuration. But when you talk about BRS configuration, there are no changes. This first point that you'll have to remember, because people might ask you, what are the changes from your ECC to S4HANA with respect to manual BRS? Now, one more point that you'll have to understand, MBRS is not used regularly in the real environment. Okay, we don't use this manual BRS on a regular basis in the real environment. So why we do not use it, we will discuss or we'll understand later on. Now, to begin with the configuration, let us take an example. We are not going to configure in detail in this session. We are only going to understand the detailed steps so that you will have a fair idea and fair understanding. Let's say business requirement. So client wants to use manual BRS for their Citibank current account. Let's say this is the account number. Citibank INR current account. This is clear requirement.
Yes, sir.
Right, your client wants to use manual BRS for Citibank INR current account. This is the account number. Now, what exactly we are going to do for this? So first thing that you are going to do is let's write as checklist. So first point that you need is bank details. When we say bank details, we mean bank account number and all.
Yes, sir.
Bank account number, IFSC code, address, all this is your part of bank details. Second one, GL details. How many GL accounts are needed? Whether you need main account and how many sub accounts, like 2 sub accounts, 3 sub accounts, 4 accounts. In short, your bank details and GL details are needed. Second one, existing BRS process along with accounting entries. Clear? No company will straight away do BRS on SAP. They will do BRS on a daily basis, maybe out of SAP or in their legacy system. In their existing BRS process, what accounting entries are they passing? That is most important for you. You need to know the accounting entries for all your existing BRS process. Next one, proposed solution approach in SAP for MBRS. What is that you have proposed to client for manual BRS? It is not that your client will give you, please do the manual BRS configuration for this account. It is not that way. Before he gives, you will have to give a presentation or demonstration to your client stating this is how BRS works in SAP. When we talk about BRS, we are specifically talking about manual BRS currently. Once you have presented the demo or an overview of SAP BRS process to your client, they say that okay, we are fine with, let's go ahead with this manual BRS process. Then you will receive all this information, let's say checklist, and then you will have to start with your configuration. Assuming you got the bank details like so under bank details, what are all part of it? You will get bank name, account number, IFSC code. What else? Account currency, bank address. Now, based on this bank details, you are going to set up what you are going to set up with this house bank and account ID and bank master. This is what you are going to set up. Once this is done, you are going to have GL details. What GL accounts do we need? Bank main GL, bank incoming, bank outgoing, sub GLs. Are this correct? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Next one, existing BRS process along with accounting entries. This is similar to what we have discussed yesterday. Yesterday's session we talked, right? So they will tell this is what our existing process, this is how we are passing the accounting entries. You will get all those accounting entries here, and you need to be ready with your accounting entries. If you do not have the accounting entries which your client is passing, it is difficult to configure the BRS, because your BRS is with respect to your client accounting entries or your client business process. Now, accounting entries will be shared by the business. After this, what we are going to do, proposed solution approach for BRS. Okay, so this includes all the config and SAP functionality, SAP standard functionality, and any customizations. This is optional. Okay, if your client is requesting for any customizations, then you will have to add that as well. And reports, your BRS reports. Clear with these 4 points, what exactly you do in each? The basic at very high level. We are not going in detail. Clear? Now let's say let us assume that we've created house bank, we've created account ID. I'm going to draft the dummy figures here. Which bank are we considering? Citibank.
Yes, sir. Citibank.
Citibank is what we are considering. Assuming for Citibank, what we need is, first you need a house bank, you need account ID, you need GL account numbers. Correct? House bank, let's say I'll mention as city. Account ID, I'm going to mention as city1. Clear? We have already seen how house banks are created and how account ID is created. It is the same process. GL account numbers, let's say 10 1 2 3 4 5 0 10 to 1 19. Clear? These are the GL account numbers that we are going to use. Now in this, which GL account is used is again the point. Now how many GL accounts to be created is dependent on your step number 3, accounting entries shared by the business. Based on the accounting entries that you have received, you will have to decide how many GL accounts are to be created. Let's go back to the yesterday's entries. How many BRS entries we have written yesterday?
Check
1,
incoming, check outgoing, transfer incoming, transferring outgoing. 4.
4, and expense 5,
Exp
income
5. Income
6.
6.
So considering this, you have to list out all the GL account numbers separately. I'll put city main, let's say 1 1 2 3 4 5 10, and then city check incoming, I'll say 11, this I'll say 12, city check out, and then city transfer in 13, next city transfer out 14. Correct? These are the 4 bank accounts that we are using here. In fact 5. In your accounting entries, your bank is appearing only 5 times. You see 1 in this incoming, check incoming, main account, check outgoing, again main account, and transfer incoming, transfer outgoing, main account. These are your common accounts. Expense and income is common for all the banks. So let's write those accounts also. Bank expenses, let's say 410, and then bank income is your 3. Clear with the GL numbers? This you are going to decide or design according to your chart of account structure. Now, when you're creating this GL accounts, you have to pay attention on the nature of account that you are going to create. Your Citibank main account is balance sheet account, correct? And this is non-open item. Main account is what account? Balance sheet and open item or non-open item?
On open item.
Non-open item. Incoming account is balance sheet and open item. Clear up? Similarly, outgoing is also balance sheet account and open item. Transfer incoming also balance sheet account and open item. Transfer outgoing balance sheet and open item. Bank expense is your P&L. For P&L account, there is no concept of open item and non-open item. This is just P&L. I'll put expense. This is your P&L income. Let me write balance sheet asset. Is this clear? How you are going to define your GL account?
Yes, sir.
Now, once you define the GL accounts and you have already created a house bank and account ID, bank master is also created. After this, you have to be ready with your accounting entries, which we already have here. We are already having the accounting entries here. Based on the accounting entries, you have to start your configuration. So to do the configuration, first you have to know the path where you are going to define your BRS configuration. For that, you'll have to go to SPRO, SAP reference IMG, financial accounting, bank accounting, business transactions, payment transactions, manual bank statement. Config path, financial accounting. In financial accounting, bank accounting. In bank accounting, business transactions. In business transactions, payment transactions. In payment transactions, you will get manual bank statement. This is your IMG path for BRS. Now, this BRS also has the transaction codes, which we will see later on. Now, do not focus on the T codes. Focus on the IMG path. Okay. Now, first step is your create and assign business transactions. Let me copy this first step in this. And we have second one is this. And third one is this. How many steps in short we have in BRS?
3.
Only 3 steps are there in BRS. Let's open one by one. If I open the first one, create and assign business transactions. If I open this create and assign business transactions, this is what it is asking. It is asking for transaction. It is asking plus minus, posting rule, account modifier, interpretation algorithm, and then text. Did we configure anything so far? Anything is available with us to add a new entry, transaction plus minus, posting rule? Do we have anything? We have not done anything so far, correct? So in your IMG path, this is coming as first, but this step is done as second step in config. Though it comes in the first, you are going to do this as second step. Clear? You are going to define this as the second step. Now, next one, define posting keys, posting rule for manual bank statement. Let's open this. If I open this, it's asking for chart of account. Let's open the chart of account. Our chart of account. Once I open the chart of account, inside this there are again 4 steps. You will find 4 steps inside this. So your second step is going to have 3 more steps. First one, create account symbols. Create account symbols. Second one, assign accounts to account symbol. Assign accounts to just this account symbol. Third one, create keys for posting rules. Create keys for posting rules. Last one, define posting rules. Here, this is your second step, which has these many steps. In your interview, they will literally ask you to tell these configuration steps. Okay, they'll ask you to tell the path. They will also ask you to tell this configuration steps, what exactly you're going to do in each step with an example. And then we'll see all this. Last one is define variant for manual bank statement. Let's go back. Variant for manual bank statement. If I open this, this is how we are getting. Here there is only one step. Go back. It has got only one step. So this is straightforward. Okay, first one and third one is a single step activity. Second one is where your major configuration is defined. What 4 steps are available in your second stage? Account symbols, assignment of account symbol to accounts, posting rules, and then posting keys. Let's do the first one. Before you create account symbol, first you have to look at your accounting entries. Okay, when you look at the accounting entries, by looking at your accounting entry, you got to know how many bank accounts are used, how many bank GLs we have used in our example entries, how many bank GLs did we use,
Only one bank.
how many bank GLs,
6.
what are
8.
those 6?
Incoming, outgoing, check transfer, incoming, check transfer, outgoing, transfer, incoming, transfer, outgoing, bank expenses, bank income.
Alright, so in short, we have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 accounts. Correct? 7 GL accounts are used in your accounting entries. Am I correct?
Yes,
All
sir.
these BR entries, all these BRS entries that are passed are with these 7 accounts that we have listed here. are with these 7 account numbers. So your first step that you're writing here, account symbol. Each account symbol represents each GL account here. Each account symbol represents each GL account here. Now, when we talk about BRS, now clear with these configuration steps? What are the configuration steps?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, note. BRS configuration is dynamic in SAP. When we say BRS configuration is dynamic in SAP, we mean you are going to configure only one time in such a way that it is used for all your bank accounts. Okay, whenever you talk about dynamic, you are going to create it in such a way that one setting is going to serve the purpose of all the accounts. Let's say if I have 10 bank accounts. I'm not talking about 10 bank GL accounts. I'm talking about 10 bank accounts operated in the banks. If you have 10 bank accounts, do you need to define BRS 10 times or one time?
Only one time.
Right? So if we define BRS settings 10 times, this is your bank specific configuration. Correct? Huh? If I define BRS settings 10 times, this is my bank specific configuration. If we define BRS settings one time, this is your dynamic configuration. Clear? This is your dynamic configuration. When you say dynamic, this is common for all your banks. So you have to define settings in such a way that this settings that you are going to define now can be used for any bank account in any company code of yours. Am I clear? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now let's go to this. If you talk about your account symbols, this is what is your account symbol. Now you have specifically created a GL accounts representing the Citibank, right? If you look at these GL accounts, these are specifically representing the Citibank. But are you operating your bank account only with the Citibank or with other banks also?
Other banks also.
Other banks.
Right? You will also have other banks, which means while defining the account symbol, you are not going to mention the bank name. You're only going to mention the nature of account, whether it is main account, check incoming account, check outgoing account, likewise. Okay. So if you go inside this, give your chart of account. If you click on account symbols, if you add new entries, you will get account symbol and then the description. So first what you'll have to do, you have to take out this account symbol separately. Okay, under account symbol, you are going to write bank main account. You're not mentioning which bank, you're only mentioning bank. Am I specifying the Citibank here?
No, sir.
Am I specifying Citibank here? Did I write city here?
No, sir.
I did not write city, which means this is generalized statement. I am writing as bank main account, which means this can be any bank main account. Citibank main account, your bank Bank of America main account or your HDFC Bank main account, any account main. Similarly, bank check incoming account. If you feel that the length is becoming more, you can remove this or you can put account like this. Okay, because in the system you will have character limitation. And next one, bank check outgoing account. What else we have? Bank transfer incoming account, bank transfer outgoing account, others bank expenses, next one bank income account. Are these 7? Yes. Clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, whatever the names that you have written here, these you are going to take as description. What you are going to take them? You are going to take them as description. This is your description. You can create an account symbol. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's maximum 15 characters. Okay, so if I count this, there may be certain things beyond 15. This is 23 characters. So obviously I cannot create with this as my account symbol, correct? So this detailed text, I'm going to keep it as description. So I need to create one maximum 15 digit length identification for bank account symbol. So which one you are going to create is your choice. Either you discuss with your client or you come up with a solution, that is up to you. Let us create bank main like this. I'm only going to create bank main, and then now in our test environment somebody would have already created like this. So what I'll do, only for the testing purpose I'm going to put like this. Okay, company code followed by main, and for this I'll put check in. Here I'll put check out. So I need to make sure the length I'm not exceeding 15 characters. So this is 13. Fine. Here so this will be transfer in. I'll put transfer out. Next I'll put expense income. Clear?
Yes, sir.
When we are actually configuring, I'll tell you what naming conventions we will follow in the real environment. This is only to get an idea so that you are not going to get confused while defining this. So this is what you are going to define. So even when you are working in a project, it is very important that you work like this on your Excel sheet. Not that straight away you get into SAP, you will start defining it here. Later on, you will realize something is wrong. Always define everything in the Excel sheet like this. Once you define like this, it is very simple. Copy the data here, go here, just control V here. Clear? I did not type here anything. I just copy pasted from my Excel sheet to SAP. Just press enter. If you see, the account symbol has grayed out, which means this is your key field. key fields are always grayed out. So system is going to identify based on the account symbol. If you feel something is wrong, the only option is you cannot edit this, delete this, and then add it again with the correct text. Clear?
Yes,
Once you
sir.
define, if you press enter, you cannot modify this. So that is why even when you are configuring in a project, do not straight away get into SAP and then start typing the data unless you are sure, unless you are very confident. Save this. Now this one we are done. After this, the second one is assign accounts to account symbol. In the first one, what we have done, we have only created account symbol. After creating account symbol, your second step is assign accounts to account symbol. When we say assign account to account symbol, here what exactly we mean here is, so far we have not connected any GL account to the account symbol, correct? Now we talked about BRS is bank specific configuration or a dynamic configuration.
Dynamic.
Hmm? This is dynamic configuration. What do we mean by dynamic configuration? Is this bank specific or common for all the banks? When we say dynamic, is this specific to your Citibank or it is common for all your banks?
Common.
This is common for all your bank accounts. That is what we mean by dynamic config. Tomorrow, if somebody is asking you, how do you config your bank reconciliation statement in SAP? You have to tell that this is a dynamic configuration. Even if a new bank account is added, you do not have to do BRS settings again. If you tell for every new bank account added, you will define BRS, then you're wrong. Clearer? So they might ask you why you're not doing this BRS configuration. Again, for the new bank accounts, you have to use the terminology called this is a dynamic configuration. Okay. Now, in the assign accounts to account symbol, first let's open this. If you open this, you have a specific format: account symbol, account modifier, currency, GL account, description. If I go to new entries, it has account symbol. If I open the drop down, are we getting the account symbols that we have already created now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Already
Right?
created.
So what I'll do, I'll simply copy these account symbols from top to bottom. Easy? Clear? This is the first step. After that, account modifier, I'm not going to put anything here. Currency, I'm not going to put anything here. GL account, I'm going to put. So for testing purpose, I'll put this one, account symbol. I'll just press enter. If I don't mention anything, what is happening? It is taking account modifier S plus, currency S plus. So when it says plus, this is common or applicable for everything. Now GL account, by default, what it has taken? All plus. What did system take for the GL account?
All plus.
Is there any GL account or it has taken all the plus? All the plus, right? Now
All the plus.
all plus is called as GL masking. What it is called as?
GL mask.
It is called as GL masking. When we say GL masking, you're not telling the full GL number to the system. Now, when you are defining any bank related GL accounts, we are going to follow a logic. Every bank account is going to have 10 accounts. right? Every bank account is going to have 10 GL numbers starting from 0 to 9. Is this correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
So this is called as your bank main account and sub account concept. Ending with 0 is your main account. Ending from 1 to 9 is your sub account. So you have to mask your bank GL account based on the last digit, right? The logic that you're going to follow, 10 account numbers for every bank account, is common for all your bank accounts across all your company codes. Okay. Now, when you're creating bank main account for Citi or any other bank, every bank main account will end with 0. Every bank main account will end with 0. Similarly, whatever the logic that you have defined here, it is the same logic. It's only that Citi will get updated. Citibank may become HDFC Bank or any other bank, but the GL numbering will remain constant. When we say GL numbering, the last digit 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is common for every account. Am I clear? If you are
Yes.
not clear with these points, it is very difficult to understand BRS logic. Your whole BRS logic is dependent on this GL numbering. That is why while creating GL master for bank, we've discussed, if you do not create bank GL accounts properly, you cannot perform BRS properly. Okay. Now, so bank main account, if you look at this here, what is the maximum number of GL account length? While creating chart of account, what is your maximum GL account length?
10.
In
Uh,
OB 13, when you define chart of account, you will find length of account number. What is the maximum length that we can use?
10.
10 digits. If you look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 stars it has taken because system does not know what is your account number length. So what I can do, I can keep this as it is. I can simply keep the last number as 0. Last number is what? 0, which means any main account should end with 0. Any main account should end with 0. Now I'll keep this and then I'm going to keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Now it's not picking. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Clear? Check incoming is ending with what? 1. Check outgoing is ending with 2. Transfer incoming is ending with 3. Transfer outgoing ending with 4. Bank expense, do we have any sequence like this for this? For bank expense, you do not have any such sequence. So what you can do, you can simply put the GL account directly for bank expenses. We'll put like this, copy. This is how many digits? 8 digits. So 2 digits short, I'm going to put 2 plus. Clear? So if you are giving the full account number, which means you are not masking it, you are directly defining the GL account number. System will straight away post to this account directly. If you put star star star, sorry, your all plus last digit, it will consider like this. If not, it will take whatever the account you have mentioned here. For income, this account we have taken. Let's take this. Clear? Is this clear? Any confusion on this? What I have written on the Excel sheet?
So this configuration can be used by any company codes, right, sir?
Yes.
Then if you define expense GL number, if different company code wants to use some other ledger, GL means?
Then you will define this differently. You'll create
Okay.
different expenses. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now let me copy this and go to SAP. I'll put this here and account numbers. Enter. Done. I've not done anything on SAP except copy paste activity. Correct? I'll save this. Now third one, create keys for posting rules. Let's copy the third step. Now this is nothing but your accounting entries. How many accounting entries do we have? So as we already discussed,
7.
point number 3, existing BRS process along with accounting entries. This is important. If you do not know the existing business process along with the accounting entries, you do not know how many keys for posting rules to be defined. This is dependent on this, right? Now, assuming these are the accounting entries, if you look at the BRS entries, check how many entries are there. This is one entry, check incoming, check outgoing is second entry, transfer incoming is third entry, transfer outgoing is fourth entry, expense is fifth entry, income is sixth entry. In short, how many entries do we have?
6.
6 entries. If you look at the account numbers, how many account numbers do we have? 7 account numbers, right? But you have only 6 entries. If you're copying directly like this, then you're wrong. Now, while defining this keys, you have to follow some kind of logics. Now, if you see for your main account ending with 0, incoming ending with 1, outgoing ending with 2, transfer in 3 and 4, your expense is like this. Now, by looking at this, which transaction is having the actual entry? Which transaction is having actual entry? Do you have any entry with bank main account? Is this triggering any BRS entry? No, right? This is coming
No.
only at the time of BRS. There is no direct transaction with bank main account. This is only updated during your BRS process. So I'm going to ignore this. This one, check incoming, is this triggering your BRS entry?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
You have any transaction called check incoming? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
You have a transaction called check incoming. Do you have any transaction called check outgoing?
Yes, sir.
Transfer incoming, transfer outgoing, bank expense, bank income,
Yes. Yes, sir.
right? So for all this, you are going to create one posting rule. Now, any check incoming is ending with 1. Is that right? Any check account is ending with 1. Check outgoing ending with 2. So this logic is what we have. So what I'm going to do, create keys for posting rules. These are called as internal transactions. What are these called? Internal
Internal
transaction,
transaction in MBRS.
right? MBRS means your manual BRS. In manual BRS, we are going to call this as internal transaction type. In your electronic BRS, we are going to use external transaction types. Now, these internal transaction types customer specific. When I say customer specific or user specific, you can create anything. There's no such rule that you should use only like this. But in case of your electronic BRS, you have to strictly use the keys that are recommended, that are provided by the bank. Okay, in your electronic BRS, the only change here is bank will provide you the keys. The exact key you have to configure here. For manual BRS, it is not like that. You can create any key of your choice. Now, what I'm going to do, I am going to create, based on my company code, I'll go. Let's say this is 4-digit code. If I go here, if you see, everything is 4-digit. Okay, this is maximum 4-digit. So what I'm going to do, I'll say, I'll take A as my company code identification, BR as my bank reconciliation, 1 as ending with 1. Clear? A representing my company code AJ10 and BR representing bank reconciliation, 1 representing accounts ending with 1. Am I clear? So you can define any code of yours. Okay, so I'll put 4 and then next ABR5. I'm not going to use 5 because 5 can be used for other account in case if you are going to use in future, maybe other sub account. So you have expense and then you have income. For expense, you can use any other code or you can fill the sequence if you feel there is no other account. For now, I am going to create, let's say, let me go ahead with the sequence only, 5 and then 6. Clear? So what I'll put here, I'll put the descriptions. ABR1, we are mentioning bank check incoming, ABR2, bank check outgoing, ABR3, bank transfer incoming, ABR4, bank transfer outgoing, ABR5, bank expenses, ABR6, bank income. Are this correct? Logically also, right? If I wanted to reconcile my bank check incoming accounts, I know that I have to use posting rule as ABR1 because my bank incoming account will end with 1. My posting rule also will ends with 1. Clear or logic? Right? In a similar fashion, you'll have to define them in a real environment. Now, let me put this in the system. Add new entries. Just copy paste, save it. Clear? Any doubt in this step number 3? Any question or clear? Okay. What is the last step? What's the last step in this?
Define posting rules.
Define posting rules.
Posting
Let's open
rules.
this. Posting rules. When you define posting rules, here you are going to map accounting entries. What you are going to map here? Accounting entries. Now, yesterday we talked about BRS accounting entries. These accounting entries we've mentioned in yesterday's session as automated entries. These automated entries is what you have to map in the last step, define posting rules. Now, if you look at the first one, check incoming, what is the accounting entry?
Bank check incoming debit, customer account credit.
right? Now, all these accounting entries we have to represent here. Now, in every accounting entry, we are specifically writing which account debit, which account credit. These accounts are classified as your account symbols. Initially, we have mentioned account symbols. Each account symbol is connected to a GL account. Whenever you tell bank main account, you have to write only this bank main account symbol. Based on this bank main account symbol, system will identify the GL account number. Okay, based on the account symbol, system will assign the GL account number. This mapping we've already done here. Clear? Account symbol and account symbol to GL number in a masking format. After this, you have defined posting rule. Posting rule tells what entry to be passed. Posting rule tells what entry to be passed, like check incoming entry, outgoing entry, transfer incoming entry, or expense entry, income entry. Then when you're actually defining the posting rule, you are going to tell which accounts to be used for posting, what to debit, what to credit. While doing this, you have two options. Option number one, direct entry. Option number two, clearing entry. What are those two options? One is your direct entry
Then
and the other one is clearing
clearing
entry.
entry.
What is direct entry? What is direct entry? Direct entry is something which is posted only during BRS. Direct entry is something which is posted only during BRS. Clearing entry is something which is posted during BRS to offset or to knock off the existing entry in bank account. If you look at the entries of your bank, if you look at check incoming, does this have initial entry or not? Your check incoming, is this having initial entry or it's a BRS entry alone? For your check incoming, what is it? Is this a direct BRS entry or you have initial entry for check incoming?
Initial entry.
You find there is an initial entry. If you find an initial
Yes.
entry for any account, then this is called as a clearing entry. What is this entry? Clearing entry. Clearing entry means there is already an entry posted in your bank sub account. With your BRS entry, you are going to move the transaction from bank sub account to the bank main account. Clear? With BRS, you are moving transaction from sub account to main account. That is your clearing entry. In short, all your bank sub accounts are clearing entries. All your P&L entries, in short, your expenses and incomes are direct entries. Okay. Now, if you see this direct entry and clearing entry, direct entry is used for what? Expenses and incomes. Clearing entry is used for all bank sub accounts. Is this statement correct?
Yes,
Correct,
sir.
or any correction?
Correct.
Now, let's write the accounting entry for each. First one is this. When this is your first entry, what is your accounting entry? BRS entry for first one, what we have listed here, bank main GL debit. This is the accounting entry we have written. Right now in SAP, this accounting entries are not allowed. If I go to the fourth step, let me add a new entry. This is not allowed. I have posting key 40, I have posting key 50 or whatever. And then you have to give account symbol, not account name, not account number. So what you have to remember from here is, first you should know the BRS entry alone. Your focus is clearly on BRS entry, not initial entry. In your BRS entry, which account is debited?
Main account.
Bank main account is debited. Now bank main account is what according to your account symbol? This is what your bank main account, AJ10 main. So you have to tell system this to represent bank main account. You will find a debit here, you will find credit here. So ignore all other fields. First try to understand how you are going to map the accounting entry. Fill your debit, bank main account is this, and credit in which account? Check incoming account. What is your check incoming account? This is your check incoming account, correct? You have to copy this, put this here. Now is this clear? Or you have any confusion in this? Only the two fields that I've filled up, are they clear? So you have to relate this according to SAP, not according to accounting or whatsoever. Because at the end, system has to perform BRS. Now your account symbol is this. This is representing your GL account in a masking format. Your accounting entry is telling bank main account debit, bank check incoming account credit. According to you, bank main account is this account symbol, bank check incoming account is this account symbol. In the debit, you have to put this. When you put this GL account will come automatically. In the credit, when you put this GL account will come automatically. When we talk about this, we did not mention full account. We have mentioned ending with 0, ending with 1. Similarly, system will consider here your account ending with 0, here account ending with 1. Clear or confused in this debit credit account symbol during the journal entry? Any doubt, question on this debit credit what I have updated here? Can you read this as an accounting entry or not? Yes, no? Not understood?
You're not giving GL account number, right, sir?
You will never give GL account number. That is the whole idea. We are creating account symbols, assignment of account symbol to accounts, keys for posting rule and then posting rule. That is why we were talking that this BRS is a dynamic configuration. When we talked about dynamic configuration, we mentioned one-time configuration for all the banks. If you are mentioning GL account number here, this is not a one-time configuration, right? This will work only for one account. Agree? If you have 10 banks, you are going to have 10 different main account numbers, 10 different incoming account numbers. Yes, no?
Yes.
So that is the reason we are not going to define account symbol with respect to a bank. This is with respect to the dynamic banks, common for all the banks. So in your interview, they will ask you how you are going to map the accounting entries or the journal entries or postings in your BRS. They will ask how system will identify that I have to debit this account or I have to credit this account based on what functionality, what settings are you defining in the system. you will have to come back to all these settings. Whatever you have defined, all this will have to explain to convince in a logical way. If I tell only the configuration, not sufficient. I have to explain them with a practical example so that the other person is convinced. So your accounting entry is always with account symbols. Account symbol will represent the GL account in a masking way. Clear? This setting, especially the
Yes.
last portion of your BRS, can be completed only if you are clear with accounting entries. If you are not clear with accounting entries, if you are not clear with the account symbol masking of your GL account number, even though you define these settings multiple times, you are still confused with this part, because the idea is not behind configuring this, idea is behind understanding this logic. Clear? Now you feel why everybody says BRS is difficult. It's not something that you can directly connect to it. This is something that you will connect based on your accounting. If you are good at your BRS accounting entries, then this is automatically easy. I've not done anything new here. I've not done anything new. What we have decided these are the GL accounts. If I have to pass this accounting entry, I will be replacing my check main account with this GL number. Correct? If I were to write this accounting entry in SAP, or if I have to post this entry in SAP, I'm not going to write this entry. In fact, I'm going to put this entry debit, or in short, what is the debit posting key? 40.
40.
Credit. This is what I'm going to write in SAP. Agree with me? If I have to post the entry manually, bank main account debit, check incoming account credit, I cannot put this. System will not accept this. No other go. I have to put debit credit posting key 4050 and account number. Am I correct or not? If you're not clear, look at this. If I have to pass any entry, if I want to debit, I have to mention 4050. Agree with me?
Yes, sir.
I have to debit bank main account. If my bank main GL is this, I'll have to put this number. Agree with me? I'm not writing bank main account anywhere. Am I? Are we writing bank main account anywhere?
No, sir.
You're not writing. You're writing posting key. You're writing account number. This posting key account number is what you are mentioning on this screen. Ignore the posting key. Instead of account number, you are giving account symbol. So the terminology, the connecting points is what you have to remember. Logically, you have to remember so that you will never get confused. Otherwise, it's always confusing part. Right? It's fine even if you are confused, because this is only an overview session. You're only going to get an overview. You're only going to get an idea with this, so that the confusions, whatever comes in your mind, will get clarified in detailed, in depth, with practical examples. Now, are you clear with this accounting entry, debit credit? While doing BRS config, your accounting entries are mapped with the help of account symbols, not with the help of GL account numbers. Clear?
Yes, sir.
You will specifically get a question on this screen. Pinpointedly, they will ask you this. If you are confused, gone. They will ask you to how system will connect that I have to pick this GL account, which we are going to discuss shortly. Now, what is this entry? Now, first point for this accounting entry, is this clear? Bank main and now are these three representing same or not?
Yes, it's same, sir.
Agree with me? All these three
Yes,
representing the same. One in
same.
general accounting, one in your manual SAP posting, third one in your BRS configuration. Clear? Everything is the same.
Yes.
Everywhere I am talking about the same point, but in three different ways. Now, what entry are we configuring now? When we say ABR1, what do we mean? What is this ABR1? ABR1 is what?
Bank check incoming
Check
account.
Bank check incoming. This bank check incoming, is this a direct entry or is this a clearing entry?
clearing.
Hmm? Direct entry or a clearing entry?
Clearing.
ABR1 is a clearing entry. Correct? ABR1 is a clearing entry. In any clearing entry, we will give only one posting key and other posting key will be blank. Clear the statement? In any clearing entry, we will give only one posting key and other posting key will be blank. When I say posting key, on your SAP screen, do you find posting key twice or one time? You have posting key twice, debit and credit. You have posting key, debit and credit. Now, when you're talking about clearing entry, what we exactly mean? There is already one entry. When you say clearing entry, there is already an existing entry. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
If you go back to your check incoming entry on this is your check incoming entry. Before this entry, is there any entry or not? Is there any initial entry? Yes, no? Before you pass this BRS entry, this is your BRS entry, right? This is your initial entry. Do you find initial entry before you pass BRS entry for check incoming, or it's a direct entry at the time of BRS?
No, sir. So before entry is there.
You have initial entry. Where is your check incoming account in the initial entry? Where is your check incoming account in the initial entry? Is it on the debit side or is it on the credit side?
Debit side.
It is there on the debit side.
Debit side.
On the BRS entry, your check incoming account, is it there on the debit side or on the credit side?
Debit side.
On your BRS entry, where is your check incoming account? Debit or credit?
No, it's credit side.
It is credit side. If you look at both the entries, check incoming account is appearing on debit, check incoming account is appearing on the credit. Now this
Credit.
debit credit gets knocked off or not?
Yes, sir.
Right? This debit and credit will get knocked off. The remaining entry will be bank main GL debit, customer credit. So in short, These are your clearing entries. So for clearing entries, we will not give posting key for bank sub accounts. We will not give posting key for bank sub accounts. Now on this accounting entry, where is your bank sub account? On the debit side or on the credit side? Where is your bank sub account? Debit or
Credit side.
credit side? So where should I leave the posting key blank, debit or credit? If you read this statement, posting key should be blank for main account or sub account. You read these statements. Posting key should be left blank for main account or for sub account. Where should we leave it blank?
For sub account.
For sub account, we should leave it blank. So where is your sub account? Debit side or credit side?
Credit side.
So
It
credit
is
side
credit
posting
side.
key will be blank and debit side posting key will be filled up. What is your debit posting key for a GL account?
40.
40. Okay. Now posting rule is
AB,
what you have already created,
ABR1.
right? Posting key is your ABR1. You'll have to write ABR1 or you can select ABR1 from the drop down. ABR1 bank check incoming. Posting area is always one bank accounting. Okay. Now, which document type do you want to use? Normally, we will create a new document type in the real environment for BRS purpose. For now, let me use SA. When we actually define this, we will create the new document type. So remember, when you're in a project, when you're in any real environment, you are not going to use SA. Instead, you will create a new document type, maybe ZR or BR, something like that, to represent bank reconciliation. And posting type, is this a direct posting or clearing posting?
Clearing.
This is a clearing posting. Where is your posting key blank, debit or credit?
It is a credit.
Credit.
Credit side is blank. Let me open this. Do you find anything which talks about clear credit account?
Yes, sir. Fifth option.
Fifth option, clear credit GL account. Let me select this. And if you press enter on the keyboard, if your entry is correct, it will not give any message. Let's say by mistakenly, if I give 4. By mistakenly, if I give 4, if I press enter, it will give a message. It says, do not enter a posting key on the debit side because my posting type is clear debit account. Right? If you want to clear debit account, debit posting key should be blank. If you want to clear credit, your credit posting key should be blank. Pick this clear credit, enter, and then save it. This is how you have to map all your accounting entries. Clear? We'll stop here today. Okay, otherwise it gets more and more confusing. Let me stop this recording.